Yo, AnimatorMon here with an Adventure Time video for you. Spoiler warning for the series finale of Adventure Time. Adventure Time has finally come to an end. It's hands down one of my favorite cartoons of all time, and I've enjoyed this crazy journey. Like a lot of people, I aged and matured alongside the show. I was actually 12 when it first aired. Adventure Time means a lot to me. To celebrate this remarkable series, I want to talk about what I've taken away from the show. Adventure Time has rarely shied away from the subject of death. Characters such as Maja, Lemon John, and Farmworld Marceline have straight up died on screen. And death is discussed blatantly, be it due to croak dreams or funerals. The very first episode starts in a graveyard, where Princess Bubblegum and Finn attempt to revive dead candy people. A couple seasons into the show, we begin to understand that this world arose from the ashes of war. Entire cities sit at the bottom of the ocean, hinting at the near extinction of humanity. The first and most recurring major villain is the Lich, whose only goal is to kill everything. Hell, there even exists a character named Death. This acknowledgement of death acts as a strong contrast to the silly exterior of the show. It hints at something darker and deeper behind the fart jokes and catchphrases. The Ice King is a great example. In the episode Betty, Simon is willing to die if it means escaping eternal insanity as the Ice King. Behind the wacky exterior of Ice King's antics exists a man so tortured that death would be a relief. The finale begins 1,000 years into the future. Finn and Jake are dead. Our main protagonists are dead. I think it's fitting that in a show filled with immortal beings, our heroes happen to live modest, finite lifespans. In a world of candy princesses and vampire queens, the universe continuously calls upon a boy and his dog to save the day. Finn and Jake take on the most dangerous threats of the universe, yet are particularly vulnerable to these dangers. Especially Finn. He doesn't have a healing factor, ice powers, or even an immense intelligence. He's just a young boy with a heart of gold. Jake, on the other hand, is always struggling with his eventual demise at the hands of Father Time. He may be a magic dog, but just like any mortal being, time will claim him eventually. And it does. Bobble bobble, as the dead might say. The mortality of Finn and Jake is complemented by another important aspect of the show, and its relation to death: reincarnation. It's made clear repeatedly that Finn has reincarnated many times over, and is destined to continue doing so. It's also heavily hinted that Jake reincarnates by his side. Finn is a reincarnation of a Catalyst Comet. It is implied that he is a reincarnation of the first Catalyst Comet, making the world and all of history a product of his sacrifice. Finn is a god in the casing of a mortal man. In The Comet, Finn takes responsibility for the world while promising to see it through. What does this mean? Here's how I interpret it. Finn is an ordinary person, like us, who is also taking on the immense responsibility of existence. He does so by taking up a code of action. He tells the truth. He fights evil. He protects the innocent. He shows compassion to his enemies. He does what is right. That's how he takes responsibility for this world. And these actions also shape the world. It's undeniable that Ooh and the people within Ooh have been influenced greatly by Finn. Jake used to live a life of crime, but Finn, without even knowing so, has kept him on a path of good deeds. Finn does all he can to reach out to Fern, in the end vanquishing the demon within him. Up until his last moments, Fern fights for Ooh. And Sweet Pea, the transformed version of the Lich, grows up to be a great hero, no doubt influenced by Finn's own heroism. Simply by being a good person, the world becomes a better place. This, I believe, brings us to the core of Adventure Time. Through the continuous death and rebirth of our heroes, Adventure Time makes clear that while our lives are finite, there are some things that live beyond death. This is symbolized by the final frame of the finale, where Shermie, who is probably a reincarnated Finn, holds up the Finn sword, with the promise of new adventures to come in the same vein as our long-dead protagonist. Because Finn lived his life meaningfully, that meaning transcends him. It lives on, because as long as the world is in chaos, there must be those to restore order, to fight off evil. Adventure Time says that death is inevitable and forever, but it isn't the only thing that's constant. Heroes are eternal. They will always be there when evil rears its ugly head. Finn and Jake may not be immortal, but the meaning in their lives and the things they represent are. The fun will never end. Anyway, what do you think? Agree? Disagree? Let me know in the comments and catch you on the flip side.